it's Spring with Soaps and Suds and Such, and today this video is to kind of give an idea on how we figure out how much soap it's going to take to fill my molds according to how I'm going to be pouring my soap for that day. For instance, this mold, my husband, the way he does it is he takes a ruler and he goes from the inside on length. He'll do the length and he will measure it. He will come up with his number and then he will write that down. Well, he don't write it down. I write it down if I'm doing it, but he can figure it in his head, but I can't. Then he goes, okay, so he does the length, then he'll do the width this way, just from the inside, from one inside to the other inside, not the outside. I almost did it wrong. And he'll write that number down. Then he has his length and his width. Then he goes for depth. And he would take his ruler and he would go all the way down to the bottom on the inside, up to this. And he will get that number. And what he does is length times the width times the depth. So you take those three numbers, the first number for length, and then you times it by the number for width, then you times it by the number for depth. And then for most of mine, we do times, after you come up with that number, you times that number by 3, let's see, what is it? Wait a minute. I've got it wrote down over here. Okay, for most of mine, we do 0.33. So that would, you would take the number for length times the number for width times the number for depth times 0.33. That's the number we use for most of mine. Now, if you do, he kind of explained it to me how he does it, but say you're on soap calc and you do 36% water. Then he said you could do 0.36 instead of 0.33. You could times your length times by your width by your depth by 0.36, or the same if you use 38% water. Now most of mine I do, you know, the times 0.33. Say for instance we have it on the back of my wooden molds. We will make it easier. If I do a 1-inch column pour, then I need 29 ounces of soap in this mold. If I do a 1 1/4 inch column pour, I need 37 ounces for this soap. If I do it full to make 2 small loaves, you know, cutting it down the middle, then I need 103 ounces of soap for this mold. Now, if I want to put, say I want to pipe a top on this soap, then I would want to bring my depth up. For whatever, say you wanted to pipe a top to, say here, then all you do is bring your ruler up. I'm trying to get it where you can see better. But say, maybe bring your ruler up, you know, according to what you want to pipe. If you want a real high top, you could bring it up to like between 4 and 5 or something like that. And he said that the 0.33 is like the water. That's for the water you want to allow for your soap. So I'm trying to explain this. He could do a better video on it because he's the one that does it more than I do. Like all my wooden molds, we have it wrote on the bottom to give me an ideal, you know, like this being full 103. If I want to pipe a top on it, I can just add so much to that. I don't even have to measure it. And that's what, you know, I'll need to pipe my top. Now, if you, like I said, if you use 36%, you know, percent water, then you might want to do 0.36. But I almost always, there's been a few occasions we've used a different number, but I almost always use 0.33. So I hope this has been helpful. Like I said, most of my wooden molds have already got it wrote on them. And you can use this formulation for boxes, because I've used plenty of boxes for column pours especially. They work wonderful. But you can use this formulation on that. You can use it on, basically, I mean, we've used it on all the molds. He uses it on all of mine. And I kind of learn, you know, I either write, if it's like a silicone mold, if it's one I don't write on, then I just have to remember it. Like my tall and skinny mold from Bulk Apothecary, I've done got that one figured out. You know, if I do it a low, then I will do, I think it's 3 pounds. Well, I have to remember. I can't remember for the life of me. Okay, no, that's piped too. It's a 3 pounder, yes. And that's with me piping the top. Now, if I do his that he made me, the wooden mold that's tall and skinny, that's a 4 pounder because I piped the top. Yeah. So, I hope this has been helpful to you. And I had a soaping sister that, you know, had asked me how we figure, and I thought it'd be best just to do a video and be done with it, because he's tried to explain it to several people. And maybe this, by me showing with the ruler, I'll go over it one more time, because you've got length from the inside to the inside. You write that number down. Then width from the inside to the inside, and you write that number down. You put, each number will be times the other. And then your depth. And if you want to top on it, say you wanted to go to 5, you could go to 5 inches. You'd have a 5, you know, you got that to pipe with. And then you times that. So you've got length times width times depth. And then you times it by either 0.33, or like I said, if you do soap calc or something and you're using 36% water, you could do 0.36, 0.38. I think he even said that I think you can even go like 0.40, but I'm not sure. But I know 0.36, 0.38, and like I do, 0.33. So I hope it's been helpful, and happy soap, and you have a good day.